This is season 1, episode 8 of the Going Beyond the Food Pro series. And today, for the last episode of this series, we're going to talk about business model. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Going Beyond the Food show. I'm Stephanie Dozier, clinical nutritionist and emotional eating expert, creator of the Going Beyond the Food method, and founder of the Going Beyond the Food Academy. Corporate executive turned health expert with my own journey with weight, body image, and food. It's now my mission to help smart, successful women like you live confidently right now and unconditionally. Ready, sister? Let's do this. Welcome back in, my dear sister colleague. Stephanie Dozier here, clinical nutritionist and your host of this very special series. If you are a regular listener of the podcast, this series or this episode of this 8-part series is specifically built and dedicated to the professional, the health pros that are helping you in your journey with food and body image. This is going to be a very businessy type of episode, so may not be the greatest place for you to start the journey on listening to this podcast. But for the professional, this is going to make or break your business. Now, before we get started, just a quick recap of this 8-part series. It's going to stay permanent on our podcast feed, so you may be listening to this like in November or October 2020. So I want to give you a full scope of what we covered in those 8 episodes. So very first one, we talked about how we need to reframe the way we do traditional nutrition and health with women, because most of what we do is in private care setting, and we need to have our own way of having client into our business because the healthcare model will not provide us with clients or patients. Episode 3, we talked about where to start with our client, which is mindset. Episode 4, we went into the world of marketing. Episode 6, we talked about body image, the real root cause of everything we do. In the last episode, I interviewed Rachel Melenda, who just 10 months ago, in the beginning of 2019, she transitioned her business to the non-diet business model. And she's taking us through this very emotional and business journey as well. We also talked about the need for us when our clients, our population of clients is mainly women, to integrate feminism in our approach. And today we're going to talk about business models. So this is a great 8 hours of listening, not even, about 6.5 hours worth of listening, of education as you start your own non-diet business, or that you want to transition from the traditional model of care to the non-diet model. Now, this episode is going to make or break your business, in which, unfortunately, 90% of healthcare providers do not strategize their business, and they do not understand that they have to integrate business modeling in their strategy. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to first start with the basic. What the heck is a business model? Why it's important, the different types of business model, and I'm going to take you behind the scene of my own business. I'm going to share with you what are my business models. And I'm using an S here because there's more than one in my own business. I'm going to show you that and how they integrate with each other. And last, I'm going to leave you with the one thing that 99% of healthcare providers don't do that will for sure get in the way of your success. Ready? Let's do this. So what the heck is a business model? Well, so a business model is something that is used in all the different types of businesses, not just in healthcare, in everything else. Everywhere where you see a business, there's a model behind it. A business model is a framework for how a company, a provider like us, will create value. What it does is it frame the business down to its value, its essence. It answers fundamental question about the problem your business is going to solve and how you're going to solve that problem. And then how you're going to grow this business. Because we do have a problem in this community, which is dieting. Now, there's not just one way of solving this problem. There's many ways of approaching dieting or the non-diet approach to health. And that's what a business model is. It looks at a problem and says, what is the different way we can approach it? And which one will my business adopt to solve the problem and create a revenue for myself? It's about making profit. A business model is the plan for you to make profit. And I'm going to pause here and say, I'm going to repeat this again in case you're stumbling upon this episode of the 8 part for the first time. First of all, go back to the beginning and start with episode 1. But here's one of the biggest roadblock we all have as healthcare providers. We are not comfortable with making money, right? The truth is, if you don't make money, you will not be able to continue helping women. 2, women who don't commit resources are not committed to the work. Therefore, they will probably not heal their relationship to their body and food because they don't have skin in the game. They don't have resources attached to it. So your company, your business has to make a profit. And the way in which and ensuring you make a profit is by adopting one or multiple business model. I want you to think of a business model like a roadmap. Now, depending which age you are, this could be different. I'm 45, so I've lived through my parents driving for vacation with a big paper map. My mom had the map, my dad was driving, and my mom was telling him which exit to take, which highway to take, and so forth, right? Some of you probably have this image. The younger one probably have never seen a paper road map. This is where the GPS comes in, right? That you've used the paper map or the GPS or your phone, right? With Google Map. What does a map do for you? It gives you direction. It gives you a best option to get from point A to point B. There's dozens of ways you could get there by taking different road, different exit, right? That's the models. There's different path to get from A to B. But you decide of one way to get to A to B, which is to currently not helping women to helping women, right? Get rid of dieting and make peace with food in their body. The map, the GPS, the Google map will get you from point A to point B by adopting a business model, a path to take. So think of your business model like a roadmap. If you want to build something successful, if you want to build a meaningful business that will help women and that will provide you with an income, that will sustain you and allow you to do this work until you decide not to do this work anymore, you must have a business model. You must have a strategy. And I talked about this in season 1, episode 2, right? The reason why most healthcare providers fail and they have to go back to the traditional model is because they have no strategy and business model baked into their strategy. So go back to listen to this episode. Now we're going to move forward, assuming you all understand what a strategy is and why it's needed and so forth, to actually look at the different business model you can choose to adopt, to bake in, to build within your strategy. Okay? Now, I'll become clearer as I explain the different model here, how that's part of the bigger strategy to build your business. The first model that I want to talk about is the transactional model of business. So a transactional model is a one-time transaction where, for an example, we all do that multiple times a week. We go to the grocery store, we take a thing off the shelf, we put it through the register, we pay for it, and we leave. One item, one payment, or multiple item, one payment. We go into the store, we do a transaction, and then we leave. The transactional model is that, right? People will come to your website, they will buy a product, a service, a coaching package, they will pay you, you will deliver, and they leave. The price of the product you offer is based on the amount of time you are spending with this client or the number of sessions. Now, I always recommend to practitioners in our field to do multiple sessions in a package because the type of work we do cannot be done in one session. This is what I've been doing probably for 6.5 years. And I quickly moved to this model because after 6 months of having a traditional on the ground clinic of nutrition with one session in and out, that did not work, nor for them, nor for me, because I could not provide clients with services within a 55-minute session. Now, this transactional model could also be courses. Now, this is very applicable to the online world where, in my case, I have the Intuitive Eating Project. It's a self-study course where people pay an amount of money. I deliver them videos, audios via email, never interacting with me, and they learn intuitive eating. Now, one last thing about the transactional model, it's not only 101 program, that could also be group program. And this is where, when I was mentioning earlier, the amount of time involved dictate the price of the product. A 101 coaching package will be more expensive than a group coaching package because 101 you will spend a lot of time in an intimate relationship with a person versus the group, which will be less time and more self-study. So think of group most of the time as a blend of self-study and coaching, but in a group setting where you're more efficient with your time, allowing you to reduce the price of your product. And then you have the full-fledged 101. In my business, I have all these models. I have the self-study program with the Intuitive Eating Project. I've got the group coaching program with the Going to Beyond the Food Academy, and I've got a high-end, high-touch 101 program. Most of you probably never heard of my 101 program because it's not something that we advertise on our social media, on our website. It's something we do more on demand at this point in time in my career. Now, I want to pause here to say that this is where it is almost 10 years into my business. That's not how it was when I started. So as I present to you different model of business, my recommendation is that you pick one, especially for those who start or even for those who transition their business. Pick one model, explore that one, set it up, get it working, get yourself working with client, get experience. And then once that one model, that one product is working really well and it delivers result, then start expanding your portfolio of different product or model within your business. The second business model that I want to talk about is retail. Now, this is my word. I don't know if an MBA would agree with that, but when I talk about retail, I talk about product sales. I'm not talking about coaching services. I'm talking about supplements, books, journal, like concrete, hard things you can touch, which does require a lot more labor than coaching services or virtual courses, because you need to manage the inventory. In the case of supplements, you need to manage expiry. You need high volume of sales to make a profit, because the profit margin, okay, for those who don't know what a profit margin is the percentage of profit on the total sale. So for an example, if you sell a bottle of supplement for $10, you have to pay the manufacturer, say $7. So you have a 30% margin profit, or $3 of profit per bottle that you make. You don't make 100% profit like you do in a coaching services, right? When you start your business and you're the only one on payroll, when you sell $100 worth of coaching, you take home likely like $90 out of the $100 when you minus out your expense. It's not the same thing in retail, because you have to pay the person that creates the actual physical product. I've run retail businesses for nearly 15 years with a retailer in Canada, so I'm very well versed in that. However, it's a very difficult business because there's a lot of things pulling at your profitability out of your control. I went into it at the beginning of my career in the health field, where I had a huge dispensary of supplements, which took me about 1.5 years to figure out that I didn't want to be in that business because it was too hard. The profit margin was too low, and it was a lot of work. Today, there is, in the case of supplements, for example, you can work with a provider called Fullscript, both in the US and Canada, where you refer your client to them, they serve them, they carry the inventory, they deliver the product, and all you do is you take a percentage home, between 15 to 20% usually. You make a little bit less, but oh Lord, you have a lot less headache. So if you are in that type of business, highly recommend that you look at what's called an affiliate business model. That's the third one I want to talk about. So let's go into that. An affiliate business model is a commission-based model where the affiliate, you, builds a business around promoting a partner, Fullscript, product, and sends customer. In return, the affiliate, you, gets a commission for every sales referred. So that works in the model that I showed you, which is Fullscript for sales of supplement, but it can also be, this is particularly relevant for those that have local business on the ground, where you partner with another healthcare provider and they refer you client. Again, when I started my business, I did a lot of that with naturopath, chiropractor, medical doctor, where I would go and meet them, explain what I was doing, and then say, if you have any patient that have or need nutrition help, send them to me. And for every patient you refer out to me, I give you X amount of dollars. Because these clients that were coming to me, I didn't have to search for them. They were referred out. They were a sure sell, so I could return and give money back. This is a very effective model. This is an adjunct model in your business. I don't think you can build an entire business around that. I think it's a way of growing your business. I'm doing that right now with the mentorship program, right? So our Beyond the Food professional mentorship program, I have affiliate that run business coaching or other health coaching program that have students who want to learn the non-diet approach, they refer them to me. And if these clients, you listeners, sign up for the mentorship program, I give back to the person who refer a certain amount of dollars. So it's a win-win for both of us. It's a win for the client who would have otherwise never hear about my program. The fourth one is what's called a freemium business model. This is not common at all in our business. However, I thought it was important to put it here because many of you use it. Company offer basic services to customer for free while charging a certain premium for a add-on package. Some of you probably use that Canva, which is a design application you can use to make graphics. You have a free application, and then you get charged if you want the pimped up version of it. Dropbox is another example of that. I have no experience in that model, but it does exist. I don't know how that would be applicable to our world, but it's out there. You have another model that some of you may have played before in. It's called advertisement, where very relevant in the world of blogging and vlogging, where you create free content, and then within that free content, you have advertisement that are paid for by sponsor. It's also present in the world of podcasting, right? High volume podcasts have the content for free for you to listen, but their advertiser will pay an amount of money per download to get the podcast. This podcast here that you're listening to is completely advertisement free. Why? Because that's not the business model that I'm in. I'm not into the world of making money with my podcast. My podcast is a communication channel between me and the world to touch people that could use my services so they can come and work with me. We can be in every business model. That's another big mistake that I see the beginner do. They'll try everything. And they'll do advertisement on their podcast and try to sell coaching, and they make money nowhere because they are in too many models. Segregate yourself to one, get that one working, and then expand. One more thing. When we come to business model, I want to talk about B2B and B2C. Do you guys know what that means? Business to business. Business to customer. So business to customer, it's you selling your coaching services to client, to patients. That's a business to customer. That's where I advise all of you to start. Okay. And then there's the world of business to business, which is me as a business selling services to other business. The mentorship program is a B2B. I serve professional. Now, this is brand new to me. I'm doing this after almost 10 years of being in the business. You see, I didn't start it there. This is a new business model that I'm integrating in my business at this point in time because the business to customer is working and it's rocking. Doesn't need my attention. It's just automated sales. Life is good. I can then take my time and develop a new business model. That's what we call scaling, growing your business. But before you can think of growing your business, you need to have the basic in place and well functioning for you. So let's look at my personal business model here, and they're going to be on the food business. So in the past, I did have a clinic. I had transaction one-on-one client that would come in, book their appointment. I would deliver services. I quickly moved on to making service packages so people could not work with me at one session at a time. They had to work. I started with a 10-session package. And then I went into the world of retreat. That lasted about a year and a half. I did a few high-end retreat, would rent a big space. People would come in. And then I did have a retail business where I sold supplement, as I explained to you earlier. And I quickly moved that on to full script because I was losing money. I wasn't making money after managing all the expiry and so forth. Now, my current model, first of all, is 100% online. Okay. And then it's a transactional business model. That's where I started. And I started with selling coaching packages. Okay. 101. And then I moved into the world of group coaching and I created the Going to Beyond the Food Academy. Now, my first Going Beyond the Food Academy versus today, widely different, right? I launched a group program, I tested it, changed it, launched it the second time, did some learning, changed it, upgraded it. It is what it is today, and it's working so well today, and it's giving amazing results. Guess why? 8 iterations. I've launched and redid this program 8 times before it is what it is today. And it's now the Going to Beyond the Food method, which is trademark and ready to scale. I'm not saying that to scare you. I want to give you the reality of how it goes behind the scenes and how important the basics are. And then as I was finalizing, I think on the 5th or 6th version of the Academy, I went in and took a chunk of it out and launched the Intuitive Eating Project as a self-study program with no involvement for me. Lower price, lower ticket. People would come in, get to know me, the quality of work that I deliver, and some of them would then upgrade and go into Going to Beyond the Food Academy. And then just this year, I scaled and expanded to a new business model, which is to serve professionals like you. Why did I do that? Same as all the other product, I had a demand. I have been consulting in business for 3.5, 4 years now. And I would handle those clients one by one, build the methodology, right? Which you have here, the 5-step to build a non-diet business, practice. I say, okay, ready to go and get more client, put them all together and apply this methodology that I've built over 3.5 years and launch the B2B, business to business mentorship program. That's my business behind the scenes. And that's about what I do now. I'm very focused on where I am and where I'm not because I can't be everywhere. I don't have a team of 15 people behind me. It's me and 3 other people. I have an assistant. I have a whiz-bang person that does all the tech stuff. I have a podcast person, right, which is editing this podcast right now. And I have me. So we're limited in resources. We can't be everywhere. So where I am, I want to be the best at what I do. This is a business. As I've said this many, many times, and I have to treat it like a business. You have to treat your business like a business. You have to, I want to be gentle here, but to say we collectively have to stop being foolish to think that because we're doing this amazing work and we're helping women liberate themselves from dieting that, we don't need a business strategy. We don't need to understand business model. And I don't need people are just going to do and work with me because I'm doing this amazing work. Yes, you are. But you need a strategy. You need business basic. That's how you create and impact hundreds and thousands of women. Otherwise, you will stay small and you will get lost and you will likely have to go get other income revenue. So I hope this helped you understand the different model and then sit and understand which one do I want for myself in my business? Which one should I focus on? And then perhaps a year or 2 down the road, where do I go next? Where do I go next to grow my business? Now, one note. And I promised that at the beginning. And I want to part with leaving this series with you guys. Our mindset around money is something that collectively we all have to work on, because that is what will make you successful. I can give you all the strategy. I can help you pick a business model. I can teach you all the professional skills of intuitive eating and body image and mindset. But if you don't work on your business mindset, on your money mindset, and be at a place of being at peace with money, with business, in relationship to your profession as a healthcare provider and how the two play together, your business will not grow. So using the skill set of mindset, in my case, we teach self-coaching. We teach it in a professional setting to help you teach your client how to get rid of the nasty talk in their head with dieting, but you then need to, in turn, take that same exact skill set and apply it to business and money mindset. And that is what will make you a successful business owner. So this is it, my dear colleague. We are going to close this 8-part series on building a non-diet business and changing hundreds and thousands of women's lives out of diet culture. And it's just a reminder that we do have the Beyond the Food Pro mentorship program, a high-level business mentorship program for health professionals who want to take their business or want to start business in a non-diet model of care. It's a 6-month business and personal growth journey that is exclusively designed for female health entrepreneurs mastering their own journey with food and business. If we are open for application, when you go to the link in the show note, the mentorship program, you can submit your application. It is by invitation program only. We get to talk to each other, determine if you're the right fit for the business, and then you get an invitation to join the mentorship program. If we're not open for registration, you can join the wait list and be the first one to apply for the next cohort. Thank you very much, sister, for having been here with me. I love you, and I look forward to see you be successful in your business and help me and all my colleagues in the non-diet world liberate women from diet culture. I'll see you on the next series.